Hello there, it's Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome back to the Trinity Stamps YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be playing with my gel press and some acrylic paint to make backgrounds for these super fun Easter cards. These are some really cool slimline stamp sets from Trinity Stamps. First up is the Slimline Chicks. There is a 8.5 by 3.5 inch stamp. Well, it fits on that size paper, and in the Slimline Bunnies, the same with a bunny stamp set and some supporting images. And these aren't the only Slimline stamps that Trinity has. This is the Slimline Doodle Garden, and we have the Latte, Brew-licious, it's Brew-licious, Slimline Pumpkin Patch. Look at how fun to make those pumpkins with different faces on them. I love it. This is the Beary Special stamp set. There's also one with ghosts. So lots of slimline stamps if you haven't checked that out before. This is my gel press. Now I've already made one of these prints. I had to practice it. So there is a little bit of paint on my gel press, but that's okay. I'm using the same exact colors, and that is a pink, orange, yellow, green, and blue. I wanted some bright and cheery spring colors for this background. I am using acrylic paint. Like I said, this is a heavy body acrylic paint. That means it's just thicker than some paints, and I'm just braying those colors on, and then I'll pick it up with a piece of lightweight cardstock. And there you can see my print, and I am going to be using this print for both of my cards today. I have a grid mat that's sticky inside of my MISTI, which I find very helpful when stamping out this slimline image because it's just so big. It's hard to get the magnets on there, and it just makes it grip that down for me, so I don't have to worry about it. So I very carefully put the anti-static powder on my paper, making sure it didn't get on that sticky mat, and then I'm stamping this down with clear embossing ink, making sure I get a really good impression. That paper didn't move at all, so I actually stamped it 2 times, and I was happy with that, except for once I embossed it, I realized there's like a blank spot where like 2 bunnies don't have faces in the green section. I thought it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna have all this other stuff on my card, so I went ahead and trimmed it down so it's about 3 1/8 by 8 1/8, so I can layer this up. But eventually I do redo this. Remember I said I did a practice print, so I had enough paper to redo the bunnies. I am using this Slimline Scalloped die set to mount this on, but there's the redone embossed piece. It embossed much better the second time. I got those faces, so when it came time to glue down that first one that had the missing faces, I just couldn't do it. I had to redo it, and I was glad I had that practice print to do that on. So now I'm going to do the same thing with that Slimline Chicks stamp set. I am this time reversing it. Like my other one started with the blue and went to the pink. This one I'm going to have the on the left-hand side, the pink, it starts with pink and moves to the blue. Does that make sense? It's just opposite. So I have little differences in my 2 cards that are very similar. Speaking of very similar, I made 2 cards with these 2 stamp sets last year using Distress Oxide sprays. I'll have that video linked at the end if you want to check that video out. I made a ring using 2 circle dies, and then I also die cut out a piece of acetate. Now, the acetate or window sheets that I have, they don't die cut all the way through, but it leaves a really good line that I can easily cut around, and I'm going to make some shaker windows for my card. So those window sheets are being glued down to the back of my rings, and then I'm using some foam tape and just following around that circle to make my shaker window. I'll do 2 of those, 1 for each card, and then I'm using the springtime sugar flowers. They look like sprinkles that you would put on a sugar cookie. I love it. So I'm going to put them directly on my card, and then I'm going to use my microbeads. I have so many microbeads. I just really like to add them in. They help move things around in a shaker. And then I'll remove the backing off of that foam tape and stick this right down on my card. I think this is like the first time I've done this in a long time where I didn't like back it. And it's a window to the back of the card, and I just thought that was really fun, and it was easier to do than I thought. So I did the same thing on my other card, and you can see that this one with the chicks on it, I backed with a pink scalloped background. Okay, now it's time to stamp out some supporting images. I have the cute little chick in the shell, and then I have the bunny holding the flowers. There are two other images from these sets. There's a chick that's upside down in the shell, and there's a bunny holding a carrot. So lots to play with and lots of sentiments to choose from, which I think is really cool because you don't have to make these just for Easter. There's like just hatched. Here's all the Copic markers I use to color out my images. Very quick and easy and simple Copic coloring on these. Lots of white. There are no dies for these stamp sets because there's so few images that actually need a die. So I went ahead and fussy cut these out. Of course, you could use an electronic cutter if you have them, but you know, it helps keep me young fussy cutting. Or it proves how old I am and that I need to go get my eyes examined. Here are my sentiment here. I fussy cut around that one doing a bubble cut, and I left the chick saying just straight. But I am going to mount both of my sentiments on a piece of green cardstock, just giving them a little something extra behind them. They're both very thin sentiments, so I thought this would be really fun to do. I'm going to flag cut the end just for a little extra detail. I love doing that. And then I'm going to tuck it behind the bunny. It'll extend past the frame of the shaker, so I'm going to need a couple foam squares there at the end. And then the chick is facing that other way, so I had to scoot it over to that side, which I didn't think about that. I thought he would go on the other side, but it worked out. I think it's totally fine. I brought in some baubles. These are called Fired Brick. They're really orange, but they also have that domed glass like it picks up the other colors. So they look very pink in some lights because it's next to pink. And then the yellow ones, same thing. They kind of pick up the green that it's next to. So they're just like really cool. And it helps it like match even if the color on the back of the bauble doesn't exactly match your paper. It kind of helps it match no matter what. It's really cool. I will have these baubles linked for you below so you can check those out. And look at these cards. They are so fun with the bright colors. It kind of reminds me of like Easter in the 70s, which might have a special place in my heart because that's when I was a kid. So I thought these were really fun. I love the bright colors, but you know, I love a good pastel Easter too. So I've got the pink in there and that light blue, and I think these are really fun Easter cards, and I hope to get them sent out. You know, I am so bad. I make more cards than I send. Is anybody else out there like that? Because my husband likes to tease me about that. Let me know. I hope that you enjoyed today's video, and I will be back again very soon with another video here on the Trinity Stamps channel, so be sure to tune in next Saturday as well. We have new videos throughout the whole week, and we have a Facebook page and Instagram you can check out as well. I will see you all again very soon on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.